It was the third from the last dance. I think he'd asked everybody else, and I was the last one to ask. He was very excited when he found out I was 25 and about to graduate from college.
So I got her phone number, called her up the next day, and went over to her house. Went over and picked her up on Monday night, and we went to the Old Spaghetti Factory in downtown Omaha and had dinner.
It was super easy to talk to him. It was just really comfortable.
We went on a walk in the park for a few minutes before I had to take her to the airport and send her on her plane to go back to Provo. And my roommates, they approached me and said they wanted to go to Provo for the weekend because it was Labor Day and we had till Wednesday off. That's what we did. We all took 4-hour stints in driving, but I had the car, so they had to get me convinced to go because I wasn't really wanting to go. I met Katie at her friend's house, or knocked on the door and came into her apartment. She invited me in, and I told her that I was there to visit my family, but that I really wanted to go on a date with her if possible that weekend. Then I called my brother up in American Fork. She let me use the phone because this is before cell phones. And I asked Jonathan, I said, well, Jonathan, so where, so I'll be home in a little while for breakfast. And he says, well, where are you? And he says, then I said, I was in Provo. He says, well, Mom and Dad are in St. George for the reunion, so they're not here. And I said, oh, well. Then I asked Katie if she wanted to go to St. George.
So I called my brother Nels and told him, and he said, oh, I think you should go. Also, David had his younger brother Jonathan drove with us also, so it wasn't just the two of us.
And everybody thought that I was bringing someone home that I had met, or that I knew for a long time to introduce them to the family. So she did end up meeting all of my family. Sunday evening, I took her on a tour of St. George, and we went up onto the Red Hill. While we were standing there, I said, I'd really like to date you some more. I think you're a nice young lady, and I'd like to get to know you better. And do you think that I'm somebody that might be someone you'd want to marry?
And I said, probably. And then he said, oh, wow, well, I haven't even kissed you yet. And I told him that was not my problem. Wasn't that concerned about it. And I was feeling really comfortable and really looking forward to being with him for the rest of my life. It just felt like the right thing. And it seemed a little slow that he hadn't actually asked me yet. I figured I'd made the decision. He was taking his time to ask me. David's dad talked to me about David being short, which I thought was a little odd, but I wasn't bothered by David's height at all, so it was not an issue for me.
I knew that if I didn't ask her to marry me then I might never have the opportunity. So I took her to her house and I knelt down in front of her and I said, Kathleen, will you marry me? And she said, I'll marry you, but my name is not Kathleen.